So the lecture would be Assalamu alaikum and Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I welcome you all to the class of science. Let's start our lecture with the beautiful name of Almighty Allah, who is the most beneficent and the most merciful. So, first of all, I really want to say welcome to all of you to again online classes because you know that the situation is altered now. Okay, the situation is changed now, so we need to change our learning medium, and we are going to convert our learning medium from physical classes to the again electrical gadgets like laptop, computers, mobile phones, tablets. So, welcome to the online class. As you all know that this is your teacher, your science teacher, Ms. Sunajira, and this is your science class. So, let's see what chapter we are going to learn today. We started our chapter investigating matter, which is our chapter number 50, which is our chapter number 4, and it is on page number 56. So, guys, first of all, we investigating is like a simple English word. Okay, we know that investigation means to know, to investigate. Okay, so we are going to learn in this chapter, we are going to learn about matter. I know that all of you know very well that what is matter, but we will see that how we can define it in simple words and what are the main properties of a matter and how many states are there for a matter. So let's get started. Class, here appears the things to learn from this chapter. Here we are going to see what kind of things we are going to learn in this chapter. So, in this chapter, the main segment, of course, it is going to be matter. We'll learn about matter. Then we'll see that all the matters are made up of atoms. We'll come to know that what are the atoms. Then we will learn about the molecules. Okay, that what are the molecules, then element, compound, states of matter, and change of states. Change of states of matter. We know that there is a water can be converted into ice, water can be converted into steam as well. So one form of water, which is the real form of the water, is itself a liquid, but when it is converted into steam, so it gets into the state of gas, while when we freeze it, it becomes solid. Okay, so we'll see that how the states of matter can be changed. But many of the students are raising their hands. Okay, they will be given the chance to speak in the last. Okay, so first of all, I'm not gonna unmute anybody. Okay, so class should be smooth, but if my voice gets unclear or if it is any problem in listening or watching the screen, so you can tell me this thing in the chat box. Okay, let's go ahead, everyone. Yes, so as I told you that the very first thing which we should know in this chapter is the matter. So first of all, we must know that everything around us, including ourselves, everything around us is matter. The simplest definition of the matter is everything around us, right? Everything around us is the matter. Now you're sitting in a room, some of the students might be sitting in the TV lounge, and wherever you're sitting, you can just look around you, you will find everything having some of the weight and occupying the space. So we must know these two things on our fingertips. We must know, every student of class 5 must know these two things on the fingertips, that matter is something which is made of, matter is something which is occupying the space. It is occupying some of the space. Okay, you are sitting, you are occupying some of the space of your chair. You are occupying the space on your bed. Wherever you are sitting, you are occupying some of the space. Plus, you have some mass as well. You have weight as well. Okay, so these two things are very important. These two things are the basic properties of a matter. If any of these two properties is missing, so that thing can never be the matter. So we need to know these two things, that Anything that occupies space and has mass or has weight is called matter. The second line is written over here that matter is made of molecules. We'll learn about the molecules. Matter comes in three main types: solid, liquid, gas. Okay, so let's go ahead. So here a guy is sitting. Okay, very good. Many of the students are telling me the answer in the chat box. I know you all are, mashallah, so brilliant, and many of the students know all the things which we'll discuss in today's lecture. Okay, but it's your responsibility or duty to listen to me very carefully. Okay, and if you get any of the problems, you can ask in the last. So here, a guy is sitting. Everything around him is labeled like glasses, butterfly, computer, coffee, desk, chair, plant, cloud, sun, cat, and there is something invisible which is like air, oxygen, carbon dioxide. So these all are things which are called matter. Why they are being called matter? They can be called as matter because all of these things are occupying some of the space. All of these things are having some weight as well. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now, after discussing the matter, we are going to discuss atoms. I know many of the students know that what are the atoms. So, atoms are the building blocks of matter that make up everything that we encounter every day. Simple as that, the smallest particle of a matter is atom. For example, if you're having a chalk, right, you will just cut it into two pieces, then you can cut down in four pieces, you will break it, you will again break it, and you will do this practice again and again, again and again. The smallest particle you will get would be atom. So we can say that atom can never be broken into two parts. Why it cannot be broken into two parts? Because it is already the smallest. We cannot make the smallest of it. We cannot make the smaller of it. Are you getting me? Okay, so what is atom? Number one thing we should know that it is the smallest. It is the smallest particle of matter. Okay, that matter can be solid, liquid, or gas, but the smallest particle would be always a an atom. Okay, when we're learning our first chapter, understanding living things, we learned about the cell, and we said that cells make up our body. Cells are the building blocks of our body. Why cells are the building blocks of our body? Because many of the cells combine together and they form our body. Likewise, many of the atoms combine together. Two atoms would be combined, then three, then four, then thousand, then million, then trillion. All these atoms will be combined and they will form what? They will form a matter. So matter can never be made without an atom. Atom is the smallest particle. Okay, so instead of saying the smallest particle, we can also say that it is the basic unit of matter. As the basic unit of our body is cell, the basic unit of matter is an atom. They are the smallest. Okay, now here comes the example of the atoms. What these circles are just telling you, these circles are atoms. These circles are atoms, right? Now, here comes another thing, molecule. Now, molecule can also be very, very, very smaller, but not smaller than an atom. Okay, remember one thing that you cannot see the molecule or atom with your naked eye. You will need the electron microscope for this. You know, there are many types of microscope as well. Some of the things are tiny. We can see them with light microscope, but atoms and molecules are as much smaller than they can not even that they cannot be even seen by the light microscope. It means we need to use the very you can say that the electron microscope. There's a type of microscope which is called as electron microscope that can magnify the tiny or the tiniest things, right? So first of all, we should know that these are the basic unit of matter. They are the smallest unit of matter. Now we are coming towards the molecule. The simplest definition of the molecule is that when two or more atoms combine together, they form a molecule. When two or more atoms are combining together, they form a molecule. A single atom is an atom. Two atoms, if they are separately, so they will be, if they are separate, they will be called as atom. But if they are combined, if they are, if they are bind together, they will be known as molecule. Is that clear? So here, what is the molecule? Here you can see H is showing hydrogen atom. Here again, the H is showing hydrogen atom. So how many hydrogen atoms we are having? We are having two atoms of hydrogen. If we add one more atom of oxygen with it, they all combine together. Now there are no more atoms. Why there are no more atoms? Because now they are molecule. Now they are molecule. When they were separate from each other, they can be called as atom, but when they are combined, they must be called as molecule. So hydrogen is an atom, oxygen is an atom, but H2O, it is the combined form of hydrogen and oxygen, which is the formula for water. So water is a molecule and these are the atoms. Okay? Now here you can see more of the circles in front of you. These circles are combined. They are connected with one another. Now these are how many atoms these are? These are two atoms. These are two atoms. These are four atoms. These are three atoms. Okay? But all these atoms are combined. If they were separated from each other, we will call them as atom. But now here in front of you, they are combined, they are connected, they are binded with each other. So we are going to call it as a molecule. Okay, so again, we can compare the definition with that diagram which we saw just previously. When two or more atoms combine together, they form a molecule. Okay, but remember one thing, if two molecules are there, it is started being called as a molecule. If one atom, that would be atom. If two atoms, now it would be molecule. No matter it is 2 or 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 or 100. If more than one, that would be molecule. Now here we can compare it. Now we just saw this one diagram as atom, we saw this one diagram as molecule. Now you can compare it very easily. Here they all are separated from each other, so they will be called as atom. Here they are connected with each other, they are combined with each other, they will be called as molecules. Okay, this is a paragraph from your book. Atoms and molecules are so small that they cannot be seen even by the most powerful microscope. As I told you that all the microscope you cannot use for seeing the atoms and molecules because they are very, very, very small. We need a very powerful microscope to see them. So approximately 4 million gold atoms placed end to end will form a line only of 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter is how small, you know. Okay, in 1 millimeter line of a gold, there would be 4 million gold atoms. Now you can consider the size, that how small it is. Thousands of the water molecules are present in a tiny drop of water. In a single drop of water, there are thousands of the molecules. Okay, so what do we need? We need a very powerful microscope to see them. Okay, atoms of one element are different from the atoms of the other element. Every element has its own kind of atoms. Now, so we are going to see now elements. What are these? These might look difficult for you. What you need to do here, what you need to notice over here is that this H is showing hydrogen. The C is showing carbon. This N is representing nitrogen. This O is representing oxygen. So what I needed to tell you here, I just want to tell you here is that all these are the elements. It means with H we are showing hydrogen, with C we are showing carbon, with N we are showing nitrogen. So these are elements and they will remain elements. If it is carbon, one atom of carbon, that would be a single atom of carbon. If two carbons would be there, then that would be called as the molecule of carbon, because it is now two, it is not one. When it is two, it will be called as carbon molecule, right? Okay, now here comes the very important thing that everybody should know. Elements will remain elements no matter they are in the form of atoms or they are in the form of molecules. I am repeating. Elements will remain elements no matter that they are separated from each other. They will be called as atom. Atoms are also the elements. Molecules are also the elements. But the main thing here we must notice is that this is the oxygen, this is the molecule of oxygen. But we must notice here that these two atoms must be of same element. If it is if it is the molecule of oxygen, there must be only the oxygen. If any other atom would come here, that will not remain as an element then. That will be converted to compound. This is very important, guys. Now here in this picture you can see that there are two blue circles which are showing the same kinds of atoms. There is a brown circle as well which is showing another type of atom, which is another type of atom. So it is very easy to understand that when two atoms of the same element combine together, they will remain elements. But if the atoms are different, if the one atom is of carbon and two atoms of the oxygen, then carbon and atoms are not same. They are different. Carbon is an element and oxygen is also an element. These are two different types of elements. So when two different types of atoms are combined, they will be called as compound. And if the same types of atoms will be combined, they will be element. If the same types of atoms will be combined, they will be elements. If the atoms are of different types, that would be compound. If you remember, we have drawn a diagram in our class. Most probably, group B has done this because group A could not could not have the class because of the holiday. Okay, so when we were making the diagram of carbon dioxide compound, we saw one thing, that the carbon and oxygen atoms were having different sizes and different colors. Why? Because carbon and oxygen are two different atoms. They are not same. When two different atoms combine together, they form compound. When two same atoms combine together, they form the element. This is so simple. Okay. Now here comes again. You can see some more example here. This H2 is showing. See, if it could be H, so that would be hydrogen atom. Why? Because only H is showing one atom, but H2 is showing two atoms of hydrogen. Likewise, two atoms of oxygen, two atoms of nitrogen, two atoms of chlorine. Okay, if I will put here 3, so there would be 3 circles instead of 2. Okay, so this number which is written on the base is showing the number of atoms. Okay, so H2 means 2 hydrogen, H3 3 hydrogens, H4 4 hydrogen. Okay, so all these are in the first line, all these are the molecules or elements. Why we are calling it molecule? Because it is not one, it is more than one. And we know that when more than one atoms combine together, they are called as molecule. Okay, number one thing is that all these are the molecules because they all are more than one. Number two, in the first line, we can see all the molecules are just made of only one type of atom. So that would be element, because only H2, O2, N2, Cl2. So this 2 is showing their number, but only one type. But when we come down, we'll see more of the molecules. They are also molecules. Why they are molecules? Because they are also made up of more than one atom. We know that when there are more than one atom, they will be called as molecule. But should it be called element? No, not at all. these will never be called as element, because we know that elements are always made of one type of atom, only one type of atoms. But here we can see different types of atom in one molecule. This is nitrogen oxide. One atom of nitrogen, one atom of oxygen. Two atoms are there, but they are not same. They are not N only. They are not O only. They are N plus O. So this is going to be compound. HOH. Are these same? No, they are not same. So this is also going to be compound. ONO. Are these same? No. These are also be called as compound. OCO. Are these same? No. So these will also be called as compound. Okay. So what is going to be the main difference in element and compound? The main difference would be all the elements are made of same types of atoms, and compounds are made of different types of atoms. When different types of atoms combine together, they form compound. When same types of atoms are combining together, they will be formed and they will be converted to element. Here comes the difference in front of you, which is a written difference. Okay, elements consist of only one kind of atoms. Compounds always have more than one kind of atom. Many of the students are coming now. Beta, why you are late? Please make sure that your connection is stable when you come to take your class. Okay, I want someone else to read it. Those who want to read this screen, please let me know in the chat box. So I'm gonna unmute that particular student. Okay. So, Abdullah, I'm gonna unmute you. Would you like to read this screen? I have given you the access to unmute yourself.
Hello,
Yes.
Miss.
Hello. How are
Hello.
you? Good?
Mm, I'm fine. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm better. I'm good. Okay, Abdullah, I want you to read out the first line of element. Hello, Abdullah. Are you there?
Compounds always have more. We cannot divide.
Okay. Continue.
We cannot divide element into two or more simple substance by physical or chemical means. We can divide compound into elements by chemical means. There are only 118 types of elements known to mankind. There is no super limit on the type of compounds that can be formed.
Okay. Uh, okay, Abdullah, now you can mute yourself. Very good. Okay, Abdullah has read just these lines. So, students, elements consist of one kind of atoms, right? Compounds are always have more than one kinds of atom. So, why there is a particular limit for element, that is 118? But in your book, it is written 110. Okay, so we can say that it is 110 according to your book. You will follow what is written in your book. Okay, but if you'll go for higher classes, you will come to know that there are more than 110 elements. So what are the elements? Elements are like carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine, fluorine. All these are the elements. Now H will remain H, right? So compound can be unlimited. Why compound can be unlimited? Because compounds are made by the combination of two atoms. Now these two atoms can be combined differently. Maybe there would be two atom will be combined like CO, carbon and oxygen, NO, nitrogen and oxygen, right? Cl, NaCl, sodium chloride. There would be many. Okay. So compounds are unlimited because compounds are basically the combination, and combination we can make by several types or by taking many of the elements. Yes, wait beta. Okay, here I have taken a picture from your book. Example of some common elements, example of some common compounds. Now, oxygen means O. Oxygen means O. Okay, student, I'm gonna unmute someone. Yes, I'm gonna unmute Zoha Iqbal. Yes, Zoha, I have given you the access. Unmute yourself, beta. Okay, can you please
Hello?
just, how are you, Zoha? Are you good?
Yes.
Okay, Zoha, tell me what is the difference of element and compound? Zoha, are you listening to me?
Elements are,
Hmm.
yes,
Yes.
elements are made of same
Okay.
atom.
Okay. And compounds? Okay, Zoha, tell me that if we combine two oxygen molecules, if we combine two oxygen atoms, they will be forming element or compound.
Element,
Why?
because elements are made up of only one kind of atom.
Very good. Okay, tell me, if we combine one carbon and two oxygen, that means carbon dioxide, will it be element or compound? That would be element or compound.
I can get you a story.
Sorry, beta. Speak up again.
I can check your voice properly.
Okay. Okay, now mute yourself. Malahim, I'm gonna unmute you. You are also going to explain it, okay? Receive the access and tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you, Malahim?
Miss, I am fine.
Okay, Malahim, can you please tell me that if we combine two atoms of
Yes.
hydrogen and one atom of oxygen to make a water molecule, so will it be called as element or compound?
Compound. Compound.
Hmm. Okay, speak up.
Sorry. Compound.
Hmm. Why it will be called as compound? Why not element?
Um, because we are combine that hydrogen and
Okay, okay, okay. Now mute yourself. Saad, I'm gonna unmute you. Receive the access. Saad, can you hear me? Saad Anjum. Okay, okay, okay. Many of the students are telling me the answers in the book. Okay, very good, Abdullah. Very good. Yes, Iraj, what you need to say? I'm gonna unmute you. Yes, Iraj, speak up, beta. You wanted to say something. Iraj, unmute yourself and speak up.
Raj, unmute yourself.
Iraj, beta, speak up.
मिस आपकी आवाज हल्की आ रही है.
हल्की आ रही है.
Yes, miss.
Beta, every student is getting my voice properly. They are letting me know in the chat box. So if you are not getting my voice properly, it might be the problem of your hands free or your computer or maybe whatever you are having. Because many of the students, all of the students are getting my voice properly. Okay, so check your gadget. Yes, is there anyone? Okay, who has Arham has raised the hand. Yes, Arham, do you want to say something?
मिस आपकी आवाज हल्की आ रही है
अभी भी हल्की आ रही है?
यस मिस
Beta, I am speaking louder. I don't know why you both are getting my voice slowly. Okay, students. So the time is going to be finished. It is going to be end.